Really is a sad situation. Just within the last 5 minutes, we have learned that a 14-year-old boy was shot and killed at this apartment complex behind me. We are here in Mesa. If you're familiar, this is the Tides on Gilbert East. Apparently, this all happened last night. Investigators just left the scene within the last few minutes, but they tell us that they got a number of 911 calls about 8:30 last night, and when they arrived, they found that a 14-year-old boy had been shot. Medics rushed that teenager to the hospital, and sadly he did not make it. As for the investigation and what happened overnight, we know that officers, they were canvassing the area. Apparently in this complex they found multiple areas where shots were fired. They found those shell casings. They have been interviewing witnesses, but right now the suspect or suspects are still missing, and so they are trying to find the people or person responsible, and they do not have a good suspect description or vehicle description to provide to all of us, but they do want the public to know if you were at this apartment complex last night, if you saw anything suspicious in the area, be sure to call Mesa Police. I'm going to give you that number. It's 480-644-2211. Your potential information, details that you have could help to solve this crime, but again, a 14-year-old boy shot and killed last night at this apartment complex, and right now police are not sure who the suspect or suspects are, but they're actively working this. Even though they've left the scene, they've kind of gathered everything that they needed to overnight. They still have detectives on this case, and obviously this will be a top priority for the department. So as soon as we learn more, we'll pass that along to all of you. But guys, we'll send it back to you.
All right.